There is a specific kind of exhaustion that only shows up after everyone else has gone to bed. You fix the broken pipe yourself. You figured out the tax problem yourself. You carried the conversation, the plan, the apology, the fix, all of it, alone, again. And somewhere around midnight, staring at a ceiling that has heard every unspoken thought you have ever had, a quiet, almost embarrassing question rises up. Why can I do everything for everyone else, but I cannot bring myself to ask for a single thing for me? If that question just made something in your chest tighten, stay with me, because this video is not going to tell you to simply start asking for help like it is a light switch you forgot to flip. That advice is everywhere, and it has never worked for you, has it? There's a reason for that, and the reason is not weakness. It is not pride either, not really, even though it looks like pride from the outside. Here is the first open loop, so keep it in the back of your mind. The people who fix everything themselves are almost never doing it because they think they are strong. Underneath that competence is something much older, much quieter, and far more painful. We are going to go there, but not yet. Some of you did not choose independence. Independence chose you. A long time ago, before you were old enough to understand what was happening. Maybe you grew up in a house where asking for help got you a sigh instead of a solution. Maybe you asked once and watched someone you loved get overwhelmed by your need, and some small, sharp part of you decided right then, never again, I will not be a burden. Maybe nobody ever really asked you what you needed, so you stopped expecting the question, and eventually you stopped asking it of yourself too. That is not a flaw in your character. That is a system you built to survive something. And here is the uncomfortable truth this channel is not afraid to say. That system worked. It kept you safe. It made you capable, resourceful, the person everyone else leans on. But a system built for survival is not the same as a system built for living well, and somewhere along the way, the very thing that protected you started quietly costing you. Here is a controversial thought, and you are welcome to disagree with it in the comments because plenty of people will. Self-reliance is not always strength. Sometimes it is just fear wearing a very convincing costume, fear of being seen as needy, fear of owing someone something, fear that if you show the cracks, people will finally see what you have always suspected about yourself, that you are too much or not enough or both at once. Sit with that for a second. Does it sting a little? Good. That sting is information, not an insult. Now, the second open loop. If asking for help feels almost physically unsafe to you, there is a reason your body reacts that way, and it has almost nothing to do with logic. We will get to the actual mechanism behind that reaction, and it will probably surprise you. But first, let us name what this pattern actually costs, because from the outside it looks like strength, and strength does not need diagnosing, right? Except the person who handles everything alone is often the same person quietly drowning in decision fatigue by early afternoon. They are the one holding the emotional weight of an entire household, an entire team, an entire circle of friends while insisting they are fine. They are the one who can plan a funeral, negotiate a raise, comfort a heartbroken friend, and fix a leaking faucet in the same week, but who freezes completely at the thought of texting someone and saying, I am struggling. Can you sit with me for a minute? This is not about laziness or lack of skill. It is the opposite problem. It is too much skill, too much responsibility absorbed too early until self-sufficiency stopped being a choice and became an identity. And identities are heavy things to put down, even when they are crushing you. Many people who never ask for help learned very early that connection was conditional, love, attention, safety, all of it came with strings, spoken or unspoken. Be useful and you belong. Be easy and you are wanted. Be a problem and you might be left. So the nervous system made a trade. It said, I will handle it all myself, because handling it all myself is safer than risking rejection. Needing someone became, quietly, terrifying, because somewhere back there, needing someone once meant being disappointed by them. That is the real reason willpower alone cannot fix this. You are not lacking discipline. You are running an old protection program, and no amount of telling yourself just ask for help next time will override a nervous system that equates asking with danger. What actually changes this is not motivation. It is proof. Small, repeated proof that reaching out does not end in disappointment. If any part of this is landing a little too close to home, that is exactly the moment to stay, because this is where we start building the way out together. If you want more of this kind of honest, grounded thinking about the patterns running your life quietly in the background, staying here with this channel is the natural next step. Not for me, but for the version of you that is tired of carrying everything alone. Let us talk about what actually rebuilds trust between you and the idea of needing someone. It does not start with a dramatic confession or a giant vulnerable conversation. It starts absurdly small. One tiny, low-stakes request, asking a coworker to double-check one email, asking a friend to help you carry one box, asking your partner to simply listen for 5 minutes without trying to fix anything. Nothing about your life falls apart when you do this. And that, oddly enough, is the entire point. Your nervous system needs evidence, not arguments. Every small, successful ask quietly teaches the oldest part of your brain a new lesson, that needing something does not automatically mean losing something. Asking for help is not a transfer of weakness to someone else. It is an act of trust. Think about how it feels when someone you respect turns to you and says, "I could really use your help with this." It does not make you think less of them. More often, it deepens the connection because they let you matter to them. The people who love you want the exact same chance. By refusing to ask, you are not protecting them from burden. You are quietly denying them the closeness that comes from being needed. Competence and connection are not opposites. You do not have to choose between being capable and being supported. The strongest, most grounded people are not the ones who need nothing from anyone. They are the ones who can do hard things alone and still choose not to because they understand that carrying everything by yourself is not actually proof of strength. It is simply the absence of trust. So, here is the shift to try this week. Pick one thing, one small, uncomfortable thing, and instead of quietly fixing it yourself the way you always do, say it out loud to one person. "Can you help me with this?" Then let yourself feel the discomfort without immediately rescuing the other person from your need. That discomfort is not a warning sign. It is the old system loosening its grip just slightly, and that is where the real change actually begins. Now back to those 2 open loops. Because they deserve their answers. The fear behind self-reliance is rarely about the task itself. It is about what needing someone once meant to you long before you had the words for it. And the reason your body resists asking is not weakness. It is memory, an old, outdated memory trying to protect you from something that already happened, not something that is happening now. You are allowed to update that memory. You are allowed to let people in slowly, on your terms, at your pace. You are not broken and you are not too much. You simply learned to survive alone so well that you forgot survival was never meant to be the whole story. Being capable and being supported can exist in the same life, at the same time, and choosing to let someone help you does not undo everything you built. It simply means you no longer have to carry it by yourself. If this described you more than you expected it to, say it in the comments, even just one honest sentence, because chances are someone reading it tonight needs to know they are not the only one who fixes everything and asks for nothing. And maybe tonight, just tonight, you let one small thing be someone else's to help you carry.